Hello, everyone, and welcome to Arkansas Style. Thank you all for tuning in this afternoon. I am your host, Nicole Neiman. We've got a full show of summer fun, must-read books, and awaiting adventure on the horizon. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at what's on today's agenda. Your big summer adventure starts at the library. We're telling you all about the free events, reading challenges, and more as the North Little Rock Public Library System kicks off a summer full of fun. And there's no shortage of summer fun with our KARK Summer Pass. We'll visit with Mystic Ozark for a hands-on experience filled with history and discovery. Then we'll check out what's going on at Mid-America Science Museum, where they're inviting you out to their dino-sized summer exhibit. We'll also chat with Heather Herman with Explore Branson about what's new this summer, from family fun at Silver Dollar City to big July 4th celebrations. We'll even fill you in on a Branson giveaway that you won't want to miss. Plus, #1 New York Times bestselling author and Pulitzer Prize winner Rick Atkinson joins us here shortly to discuss his newest release, The Fate of the Day, which has been selected as this year's choice for If All Arkansas Read the Same Book. Again, we have so much to get to, so let's not waste another second. Arkansas Style starts right now. Welcome back to Arkansas Style. As our nation approaches its 250th anniversary, interest in stories, people, and decisions that shaped America is growing. And one of the most acclaimed historians of our time is bringing that era to life in a powerful new book that's also been chosen for a statewide reading initiative here in Arkansas. Joining us is Pulitzer Prize winning author and historian Rick Atkinson to talk about The Fate of the Day, the second installment in his American Revolution trilogy. Rick, I've met a lot of people in this job, but quite privileged to have you here on our set here on Arkansas Style. First of all, congratulations on your efforts here, but we got to brag on you just a little bit. Your resume. How many Pulitzer Prize have we got under our belt?
3.
Holy cow. Congratulations.
Thank you, Nicole.
Where did it all begin? I have to know. The passion for history and writing.
Professionally, it started not all that far from here in Pittsburgh, Kansas, down in the southeast corner, where I was a newspaper reporter for a while, where I started, and then Kansas City, and I was at the Washington Post for almost 20 years. But I'm now working on book #9, all about American wars. I write about war. I wrote about war as a journalist. And currently I'm writing about the American Revolution.
Well, certainly no shortage of material, present day and past, of course. And this is the second book in your trilogy. Can you kind of set the table for us about the trilogy?
Yeah, the war, of course, begins at Lexington and Concord. The first shots on April 19th, 1775, and that's really where Volume 1 begins. This book is the middle years of the American Revolution. My belief is that we ought to be interested in the Revolution because it tells us something about who we are, where we came from, what our forebears believed, and what they were willing to die for, which is the most profound question any people can ask themselves. And there's a lot of dying that goes on in those middle years. We're talking about the period from 1777 to 1780 with battles at Brandywine and Germantown and Charleston Falls and Savannah Falls to the British. So there's a lot that happens. Washington, commander-in-chief of the Continental Army, is trying to find his feet, and it's a full-time job for him. He's got deficiencies as a tactical commander. And then the French are going to come into it, and that's the big turning point of the war. And the French are going to help us to find our feet.
Okay, so again, the second in this trilogy, what has the research been like?
Well, it's been vast, deep and broad. I spent a lot of time in various archives around the country, around the world. I was among the first allowed in to study the Georgian papers, which include the papers of George III, your last king, as my friend Ken Burns says so far.
I get the joke.
And George's papers are kept at Windsor Castle, just west of London. I spent a month there. I go to places like Ann Arbor, where there's a wonderful archive, Pasadena, another wonderful archive, New York Historical, and so on. And my objective is to have the reader be able to not only to see it in the mind's eye, but to hear it and to smell it. And that requires trawling endlessly in dusty boxes, trying to find things that no one else has found.
Oh, our Karen O'Connell's dream come true. That's what she loves to do, dig through those boxes. Okay, so of course we talk a lot about the different wars that are taking place, the different battles, but you also dive into some of the main characters, but some of the lesser known. Can you touch on some of those?
Yeah, the characters are fantastic, which is the whole reason that I do this, Nicole. I think that the incredible stress of combat is a great revealer of character, for one thing. Well, there's a 19-year-old spindly redhead named Gilbert de Moitié. You know him better as the Marquis de Lafayette. He shows up at the beginning of this book because he has, against King Louis XVI's orders, left France to come and fight on behalf of the rebels. He's one of the richest boys in France, so he can buy his own ship to make the journey from Bordeaux. And we're going to be with him for the rest of the war because he becomes both an intimate of Washington, but also he's pretty good on the battlefield. He's got very little military experience when he shows up, but he's kind of a natural at it. There's, of course, Benjamin Franklin, our first and greatest diplomat. We're going to see him in Paris, where he's trying to convince Louis XVI to come in full force, not just with clandestine gunpowder and munitions and a little money, but to send an army and a navy to help us to defeat Britain, the British Empire, which includes the greatest navy the world has ever seen. And Franklin's going to be quite brilliant at that, and we're going to see him work his way. He's in his 70s at this point, so it's one of the 12 crossings of the Atlantic that he makes. Very unusual in those days, never easy, and as an old man, it's particularly hard. So the cast is rich and broad, and people you've never heard of, as well as familiar, bold-faced names like Washington.
Well, I am on the edge of my seat. Learning history never sounded so much fun. Certainly grateful for our signed copy here on your behalf for our Arkansas-style team. Thank you so much. I will leave you with a question that's unanswered, but does it justify war, especially when you're looking at the Revolution and our history?
Yeah.
Maybe to be continued.
Yeah.
Great to meet you.
Thank
Really
you.
a
Thank
privilege.
you, Nicole.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
What a fascinating look at the people and events that helped shape our nation. To learn more about the book, find a copy through your local library or follow Rick's work at rickatkinson.com. Now we've got more to read when we come back. The North Little Rock Library System wants you to unearth your next story, and they've got options to do all just that. Summer long. Details are coming next. You're watching Arkansas Style.